don't have daddy issues. You're not a single mom. You couldn't not keep it. Stop it. You're a walking goddess.
Apparently all of us are on the same boat, and there's just no men out here to date.
Sitting at the office of the entrepreneur right now.
I've never heard anyone talk about like actually dating a high value man is not for the weak.
If we're splitting bills, we're splitting everything.
He's different. He's such a wonderful person. I cannot believe. I don't care if he's Jesus himself.
I will potentially be married. I do not know where my husband will live.
You gotta be picky because I don't want to settle, and it's been this long. Why would I settle? It shouldn't be this hard.
Hey guys, welcome back to More to Life. Now before I get into this video, I ask that you like, comment, subscribe, also smash that notification bell just to be sure you get on my videos as soon as I release them. Let's get right into this.
But what do I do about dating if I'm a single mom? It's the question you ask me a lot. It's the question you ask me the most. And I've kind of sidestepped it and focused on dating and all that stuff. But let's enter the chat. Let's enter the chat about marriage and being a single mom. Stop taking on what men put on you as a deficit to you that is a result of a man's actions. Number one, you are the closest thing to God, because what does God do? Make human beings, right? Made us, made all of us in his image, okay? You can make human beings in your own image. Through that portal between your legs, yeah, you can do that. You can literally make life. If any man makes you feel bad about the fact that you've created life and that you are now somehow less than or disposable, no, that is not a reality. We all need to put our chest behind that. The fact that we have the ability to create life and they don't have that ability. I don't want to be a subpar man. I want to be an amazing woman. I don't want to do what you can do. I want to do what I can do. So when you've had children.
Now, she said women can create life. Like they can create life without the seed. The seed is the life. You kind of incubate it. You help create it. It's a partnership. This problem has made women feel like they don't need men, has made women hate men. I know it's not all women, but this is sad. We got to stop this.
And you had a relationship, first of all, understand your goddess status. Be a goddess. You've created human beings. Great. More proof to the fact that you have a temple. Second, and that is, do not feel ashamed for the things that some man in your life did. For example, daddy issues. She's got daddy issues. What, her dad wasn't around for her, so that's her fault? She's a single mom. Her husband doesn't, or ex-husband doesn't participate in raising of the children. Because if he's a normal man, and even if you are separated, he will still participate. So all this single mom and she's toxic doesn't exist. Don't take on, or like crazy ex. Look at my crazy ex. Or are you the one who left her in some kind of compromised position and now she's acting crazy? Don't take on the deficits of men as your own personality trait. You don't have daddy issues. You're not a single mom. You couldn't not keep it. Stop it. You're a walking goddess.
No wonder you're single.
Relax. If you know that, the guy you're dating will know that. That's the baseline, okay? And if he doesn't know it, he's not the guy for you. Trust and believe. I am married 10 years and I don't want to date. But if I did and some man didn't want to know me because I've got children, Christ, I would not. Anyway, you know.
So she says all of that, right? Until she divorces her husband. I'm not saying she's going to, but it's a big chance a lot of them do. And then she's looking around going, wow, nobody wants to date me. Then she's living firsthand. See, this is a delusional, as she says, she's married woman. That's telling women to be delusional. This is the problem. This is the problem with society now. The reason why it's an issue to me, that video was made 2 days ago. This is sad.
Did not expect for all of you guys to agree with me in my recent video about how hard it is to date. I was actually hoping for some advice, but apparently all of us are on the same boat, and there's just no men out here to date. And that just like leads me to the question of why.
Living life
I know I'm picky as hell. Like, every one of my friends say how picky I am and how it's just like, it's gonna get me nowhere, and I get it. But I also know what I bring to the table, so I'm just like, you gotta be picky because I don't want to settle, and it's been this long, why would I settle?
That's not my problem.
But what is it about these men out here that's causing all of us in the comment section to realize that we're all single? Doesn't that seem a little strange to everybody that there was so many people that were commenting that they were just single too, and they have been for many years, and it shouldn't be this hard, right? Like, where are the good men? Also, the people in the comment section, men, that are giving us advice on why we're single because, and then it like leads into something really rude and just like judgmental. You're the people we don't want to date.
You see what she just said there? All the people that are judgmental. You know what she sees as judgmental? A guy saying you need to stop being picky. She considers that judging her when it's not. It's the truth. A guy may say you think you're hot stuff. That's probably the case. And I'm sure if you watch her TikToks, somewhere she's showing that she feels she's hot stuff. And they take it all as judgment. All it is the truth.
Girls want to date an entrepreneur until they see what comes with being with an entrepreneur. You think for 1 second that dating an entrepreneur, especially one that is successful, means you get freedom? Take it from me. I'm sitting at the office of the entrepreneur right now, where he's getting 2 jobs for the price of 1. He's 24/7, and I'm out here being 24/7 with him. When I started dating my fiance, he basically told me from the get-go, I want to end up with someone that supports me and my goals and my dreams. That's the one thing I'll never give up. I was like, oh, that sounds easy enough. No, I'm out here in the trenches. If you want to be with someone that's uber successful, you need to know that you will most likely come in a lot of seasons second to the business. And you need to be so okay with that. Like, so for real okay with that. You might even lose some friends over this because some of your friends will not be able to relate. If they're with someone that's in a 9-to-5 and you're with someone that's actively building a business, they will not understand your suffering. And let me tell you another thing. These guys have such high expectations of you. More than you have for yourself. As their partner, you need to level up. And the reason why is because there's going to be a lot of hard days. And you're going to be out there in the trenches with them as literally God's strongest soldier. Top of all of this, let's just add the fact that they love delayed gratification. So the moment they achieve their goal, they're going to kick the ball down the road and they're going to have another goal to achieve. It's never ending. So you just better get used to the cycle. I feel so blessed to be with someone that has goals and dreams and is so ambitious. I want him to achieve all those things and I want to be right there to support him. All I'm saying is, if you want a life of leisure, go find a man in finance, because I'm telling you right now, these guys, no, they're hardwired differently. The hunt is better than the kill. They're always on the chase. So best of luck to you out here, because it's hard. It's hard out here.
I'm laughing because she's right? I do that with my wife. My wife understands it totally. Like, every time delayed gratification is real, I keep the ball right down the court, and there's another goal, the chase. And that's the way you have to be. I'll tell you how it was when I was younger. I always chased my goals, but I always celebrated jewelry. And in order to continue success, you can't hit the goal and then say, okay, like a lot of rappers do, right? They, before they even have the rap album, they're buying gold chains, right? They're buying diamonds. No, there's no such thing. No celebration. Work, 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 work. And when I learned that, that's when it started showing.
Girls think that they want to date a high value man until he starts calling you out for not taking responsibility, before he starts holding you accountable, before he has higher standards for you than you have for yourself. Everyone talks about, oh, date a high value man. It's so, this is what you do to have to attract a high value man. But I've never heard anyone talk about, like, actually dating a high value man takes a totally different kind of woman. It's not for the weak.
You're right about that.
I have other friends who are dating, like, very loving, very successful, perfectionist, ambitious men, and it is not for the weak.
She's right, and it's kind of like the same thing the last one was saying. They don't qualify. I've said that every video that breaks it down. Most women don't qualify. Why? Because everything. They're feminists. They look at everything and say, oh, a guy's judging me. I would never have a guy judging me. A guy can't control me. It's all about control. You dating a high-value man, it's all control.
Y'all wanted equal rights and equal pay so bad, and now that you've gotten it, it's only fair that we go 50-50 in the relationship. Which at this point in the video would invoke you saying, oh, like you're a broke, insecure guy, naturally, but I don't know if you could tell, that is my water view. According to y'all, I'm a high-value man. It just speaks to the ego that y'all have, that y'all think you're all worth a guy paying for everything.
I think the issue with men like this is they want a woman to look at them as if they are a provider, even when they cannot fully provide. If a man is fully providing for you, taking care of you, giving you princess treatment, you might cook and clean for that man. You might do the laundry. You might do all these different things because he has provided so well for you. They all want that kind of treatment, even if they can't be that kind of man. The thing about it when it comes to 50-50 is if you want to do it as a woman, then I'm all for it. There are some women who do not want to give up their professions. They do not want to give up their careers. They want to work too. And I'm all for that. But if you're splitting bills with a man, I believe you should be splitting everything with a man. If you need half my check, I need half your help on these dishes. I need half of your help on the laundry.
As a single woman phase,
I guess we're doing half of the cooking. Like, if we're splitting bills, we're splitting everything. But these men want to split bills, but want you to do 100% of all the domestic labor. And to me, that deal only benefits men. Now, they want to call you a modern woman if you're saying, no, I refuse to do that. But the men of the past who had women who were cooking and cleaning for them were taking care of those women 100%. Every time I look, a man is on here talking about they want a trad wife. Trad wives don't work. So if you can't afford to pay all the bills, you can't afford a trad wife.
I'm looking for a single man with no children who's in shape, business savvy, Christian, clean, hygienic, nice smile, family oriented, and
faster than a speeding bullet, more powerful than a locomotive, able to leap tall buildings in a single bound. Look up in the sky, it's a bird, it's a plane, it's not gonna happen.
Real talk.
Well, maybe. I'm not even mad at her though. She's well within her rights. However, in this day and age, I don't think it's realistic anymore. I mean, maybe it once was, but if you want something like that, it's like you're gonna have to catch him at the age of 12 years old. And I don't think that's gonna look too good on you. I mean, that's just my opinion. This kind of goes back into, do women have to settle? Because I think it'll be extremely hard to find all these qualities today in one man. It's always gonna be something. Either he don't got one of those qualities, or maybe even two. Or he may have all the qualities you're looking for, and then you not be his type. Again, it's possible, but how long are you willing to wait till that comes along? I'm just asking, respectfully, of course. Sensational.
The sad thing about that is some women wait forever. They do. Some ladies wait forever because they choose not to settle. And we see them all the time. 40 years old, still kicking a bucket around with no man.
I assumed I would find my husband in my 20s and be married by 30 and having kids and all that, and I'm 32.
Over 27, unmarried, female. What do you call this lady? 剩女, which means leftover women.
And I'm just not. But I also have viewed being in my 30s and having dated such an empowering position to be in, because you are so much more established, you're so much more clear on what it is you want, and there's so much less room for the feeling like someone is vetting you. Like, no, it's actually the other way around.
For so much of my life, I would find myself in these relationships, and it was almost like I didn't have a choice. To your point, being in my 30s, being established, having this life experience, also having like a lot of sobriety under my belt and a lot of self-awareness around like who I am and why I am the way that I am and all of that, I'm like armed with this information. It's no longer about like, am I good enough for this person? It's like, is this what I want? How do I feel when I'm with this person? I do have a choice. Yeah, it's not about them.
It's not about them, and you're out of the market. You're aged out. It's not about you either.
I wrote a story called My Daughter's a Bitch and It's Not My Fault. And she was 9.
Oh, and I said I wasn't going to cry.
I know. It hurt me too. Her sister followed her around everywhere, loved her, loved her, loved her. And Izzy didn't want anything to do with her. And it broke my heart because I'm a little sister. I recognized that was definitely the worst thing. I can like feel the signs in there. It was the worst thing I ever, but it also, if you read it, I was really good at clickbait titles.
But it blew
And-
up.
No, it's just something that comes up when you Google my name, you might be able to find it.
But it still follows you around, like you're applying for jobs, or you're doing things with your name.
We can't hire her. She was when she was 9.
No, you can't allow a child to be that way. What? This day and age, these things happen, but let me be 9 years old and think I can talk anyway but nice and respectful to my parents. That's all I gotta say about that. Because, you know, they say, oh, he's talking about abuse. Abuse is needed sometimes. Abuse is needed.
I want all women to understand this. All these women in the comment section, oh, but my husband, not my man. Not my man. My husband is different. He's such a wonderful person. I cannot believe I get to be with him. He's just amazing. He does everything. Man, slow down. I don't care who he is. I don't care if he's the most wonderful man on planet Earth. I don't care if he's Jesus himself.
Pure evil.
I don't care if he funds your whole life. I don't care if he pays for everything. I don't care if he does everything right. We are living in patriarchy, where men are the ones who decide.
You hear what she said? Now that right there, red flag. I don't care if he's Jesus himself.
The audacity.
She doesn't believe in anything, right? She doesn't go to church. Women like this you avoid at all costs. But let me hear her out, because feminism has poisoned me and they don't realize it. But let me hear her out.
Men set the rules. Men get to do everything they want and get away with it. I don't care if he's the most wonderful person. It's absolutely irrelevant. You have no idea of the invisible, emotional, mental labor that you're going to have to burden yourself with when you get married or you're in a relationship with a man. You have zero ideas of what men do to just be in presence of another woman. You have no idea how important and crucial it is for them and for their egos to be surrounded by women. The slightest look, the slightest compliment, years of confidence for them. They power through. Just a little bit, just a little hint, let alone being married to this person, living with them, funding their entire life with your intellectual capital, with your energy, with your femininity, with your emotions, with your time. Are you serious right now? The labor is yours. I don't care in what situations you are. I don't care. He's going to be the winner. You're going to be the loser. Even if he does everything for you.
You can't make this up.
Because this is how the system is planned. Good luck.
I'm willing to wholeheartedly dedicate this time in my life in the pursuit of this family and husband thing, because this will be forever and my career's not going anywhere. I can uptake my career a whole year later because that's when the next set of junior doctors would be starting. And so I made the decision to quit as a doctor for a whole year in order to find my husband. And when I say I really believed that finding my husband was going to be the outcome, I really believed finding my husband was going to be the outcome, to the extent that when I was then offered to defer my job, to leave my job for a year but still have the security of that same job in the next year without doing a whole reapplication to find a job as a doctor, I declined it. So embarrassing. In the email written to the director of the deanery, I wrote, "This time next year, I will potentially be married. I do not know where my husband will live, and so in the best interest of my future husband, I need to maintain geographical flexibility. So thank you very much for the offer, but I will quit and reapply such that I can reapply in a location that is desirable for my future husband. I'm such an idiot. Who gassed me into thinking that I was definitely going to come off of this married? Instead, I was there for a total of 1 week. I quit my job for a whole year to be part of this experience for 1 week and then eventually be dumped by the person that I really liked, and then for me to ask the producers if I could just go home because I liked someone, they didn't like me back enough, and so I felt for me that there was no point in being there for any more amount of time. Everything ended up working out, and I had several backup options that I had lined up for myself prior to going. There was no real financial cost to me doing this. The only thing it really did was set me back in terms of my path as a doctor by 1 year. And so here I am now, still a doctor, on my way to do my night shift to cover the entirety of surgery. So that's a quick story. Bye.
All right, now I understand the taking off for a year to find your husband part, but you did that on a television show? Ah, man, delusional. Congrats on being a doctor. You should be trying to find your man in the world. I thought it was going to be something like that. I seen how it looked on the, you could see it, Love is Blind cast member, but I thought it was going to be something different. I don't know why. But yeah, congrats on being a doctor, but hopefully you still have that in your mind. That should, and on the forefront, because I see 10, 15, 20, 30 years of loneliness and banging dudes. I see that. You're a very pretty girl. You're going to get guys. But I see 20, 30 years of being ran through or running through guys. Because that's what you do. I know in the medical field it's wild, but hopefully you don't take that course of action and be smart. Not quitting your job for the television show. Yeesh.
Have you ever noticed? Dating in 2024 is like, they don't want the relationship, but they want to keep you around every day.
Yeah, that's how women have made it, and men have taken advantage of that.
At the end of the day, we need to start supporting each other. We need to stop talking down on each other. We need to stop disrespecting each other. And we just, and even if something like Diddy is going on, we need to stand behind, even if he's totally wrong. Huh? We need to stand behind that, because who you trying to stand behind? Do you know your history? Though I love my people, I love human beings. If you can respect me, I'm going to respect you. And that's the end of the conversation.
No bunny hopping, though, right? No bunny hopping.
My fiance is not black.
No, don't you say that. Your fiance is what ethnicity?
Does it matter if he's not black to you?
Beat you up my...
He's Caucasian,
okay.
and he's a wonderful person. He's a wonderful human being, and he respects everybody. Okay, he doesn't, believe it or not, a lot of these humbled white people today who are not racist, they're not even on all of that. I really don't
sure
believe
your fiance has used the N-word before. Probably never around you. He's used the N-word before.
But I'm not gonna say he hasn't, but it's not. He used that term with his friends and his brothers, right?
Are you comfortable with a Caucasian using the N-word at all?
It's like people are not using that word to degrade you like they did in the early 1900s and later. I mean, some are. The racists will.
So what you're saying is, when Caucasians use the N-word, and let's say N-word queen, when Caucasians use the N-word, now they're using the N-word in a positive way.
No, I'm not saying. Listen, I've heard him say it before, and I've heard other white people say it before, and I kind of will just tell them, listen.
You heard your fiance use the N-word, and how did you respond?
I told him that it's not good for you. I said, if you use that term outside, you might get knocked. And I educate him. We talk about these things, and I educate him. He's not going to understand it from a point of view of black people. He's not black, and he gets called that by his friends.
Now that word has become worldwide. It's become worldwide, and everybody's using it. Not in a negative way. Some do, not in a negative way, but it kills me seeing how Dr. Umar is so consistent all the time. No bunny hopping. That man consistent.
One of my biggest fears has always been existing in an echo chamber, and that happened this election cycle. I was thinking back on my For You page, what I've seen on social media in general, like, it was always pro Kamala, like, yes, this makes sense. Like, if we have sense, we're voting for Kamala. But at the end of the day, like, looking at the vote, I'm like, whoa, I'm existing in an echo chamber, and I'm assuming what's happening in social media is also happening in real life. And I know that intellectually, I know that that's not true. But now I really know it. I really know it.
The internal pain after being sexually assaulted has been incredibly deep and hard to put into words. It goes beyond just physical harm caused by and during the assault. It's a pain that reaches into your very core of who you are and leaving emotional scars that may never fully heal. Some of the hardest parts of this pain are the shame and the guilt I have experienced that plays a negative part in my day-to-day ability to function properly. Being blamed, questioned, and threatened has often made me feel worthless, isolated, and sometimes responsible for what happened to me. My family issues made the pain even worse. I was already going through a divorce at the time of the assault and did not get the support that I needed.
Man, now that man has caused a wave of hurt all throughout. And what's wild to me, because this happens in Hollywood, what's wild is it was swept under the rug. It took him suing a liquor company, right? Guys that were directly connected with FBI agents. They put the word out to an FBI agent, which they probably paid, and it led to him getting, prosecuted. But then not only that, it led to everyone coming out against him. Good was done from bad happening. He potentially could have made more money. It could have been swept more under the rug. This is what happened. The only reason it came out is because he crossed the wrong person. But imagine if he wouldn't have crossed that person. No, she would be sitting there crying. She'd be holding in that pain. And that's the wicked thing I want you to think about. How wicked that is. So many people get away until they do wrong. That's how it is in Hollywood. But that's how it goes. But yeah, y'all, I just want to thank y'all for watching the video. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and see you next video. Always remember, it's more to life than doing something crazy like that.